Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nature Source Care. My name is Dr. Funda Goldman. I'm a naturopathic physician. In today's talk, I was going to discuss the medicinal benefits of corn silk from the plant Latin name of Zea mays. This is part of the kitchen pharmacy series that I'm building here. So let's take a look. And note beforehand, the information presented here is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. For any symptoms that persist or worsen, please consult with a qualified medical professional. It's always best to determine the root cause of any disease and to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. And while botanical medicine nutritional remedies can be very effective, they may not be appropriate for everyone or as a single therapy. Also, keep in mind with any plant-based therapy, the two most common side effects are digestive upset and skin itching. So keep that in mind as well. So if you're interested in learning about the medicinal properties of common fruits, vegetables, spices, things that are basically in the grocery store and in your kitchen, this kind of content are in my playlist, Botanical Medicine, Nutrition, and Kitchen Pharmacy. And the information presented here is based on my book, Drink to Your Health, Medicinal Teas, Juices, and Milks from Around the World. If you're interested, you can always pick up a copy on Amazon. And the reason why I spent time writing that book is because I found that there are very few nutrition books that integrated different paradigms of medicine. So my book specifically integrates the paradigms of Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine, naturopathic medicine or traditional natural medicine, and then the Western modern paradigm. So let's take a look at Zea mays. Okay, so when we're looking at corn, specifically those little tassels, those little filaments we call corn silk, that's the specific part of the plant that I'm talking about. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, which is mostly an energetic paradigm of medicine, corn silk will increase vata, or the wind element, but decrease pitta, or the fire element, which is related to inflammation, and also kapha, which is related to potentially too much water or edema or fluid buildup. Also, the energetic properties include a sweet taste, cooling in nature, and being pungent as well. So clearing of energies, stuck energies. So we could say very simply that corn silk has three basic medical properties. One, it's a diuretic, so it will increase kidney output of urine. And also, it's a demulcent, so it's a soothing herb that helps to, soothe irritated, inflamed tissues. Also, it's anti-inflammatory, so that's another way that it helps to, decrease the effects of inflammation. Yeah. So, and then if you are ever going to make like a tea from corn silk, which is a common way that corn silk is used medicinally, at least in a traditional sense, is that you would use an infusion method. So the infusion method is where you boil water, turn off the heat, add the herb, and then let it sit in that hot water covered for a few minutes. So it's a gentler approach than like active boiling, which would be a decoction method. So if you're interested, I have a whole video on how to make medicinal teas, so you can check that out if you want more information about how to make specific medicinal teas. But again, as far as corn silk is concerned, it has affinities. Its main affinity in the body is for the urinary, tract. So it's a diuretic. It's going to increase kidney urine output. This can also be helpful for somebody who has problems with urine retention. Also, like it's a demulcent, so it's soothing to inflamed, irritated tissue. So any kind of irritation to the bladder, possibly cystitis, which is inflammation of the bladder, urethritis, so inflammation of the tubes that lead drain urine through the urinary system. Also, potentially bedwetting if that's related again to irritation of the urinary tract. Now, because it's a diuretic and helps with, kidney output of urine, it is also related and can benefit the cardiovascular system. When there's high blood pressure, for example, due to, retention of fluids, corn silk can be helpful in releasing extra fluid from the body. Also, there's growing evidence that corn silk can help with arteriosclerosis, which is often related to a buildup of heavy lipids or fats in the blood. It can create plaque in the arteries, so it can help with that. It can also help to lower, partly, it might be an active process. Again, some of these processes, pathophysiology or mechanism of actions of plant-based substances, whole plant-based substances. Again, there's some research, but not, conclusive research all the time. But again, it looks like there might be an active process in terms of reducing arteriosclerosis, but also reducing cholesterol, which can contribute to the buildup of arterial or development of arteriosclerosis, and then edema, which is swelling, again, usually due to excess fluid in the body. So also related to the urinary tract is, related to the immune system, is that corn silk can be helpful with people who tend to develop gout and the tophi from gout and that sort of thing, because it actually helps to regulate uric acid buildup. Also related to the urinary tract, or closely related to the urinary tract, is prostatitis, or inflammation of the prostate. So especially if that's, irritating somebody and affecting their urine output, the demulcent qualities of corn silk can make that, less irritated. There's the anti-inflammatory action as well, and then making sure that there's, not a blockage, if there's swelling or inflammation of the prostate in terms of urine output. And then general properties of corn silk are being shown that actually in cases of hyperglycemia or high blood sugar, corn silk can be helpful. And then also corn silk tends to have a lot of antioxidants, so it can help with oxidative damage in the body. So, again, this is a part of the plant, at least I do, frankly, and I know most people close to where I live, we just throw these filaments out, and they're considered a waste product, but there's actually a lot of good medicine in there if you're so inclined. So there you go. There's ZMA's corn silk for you today. Yeah, so thanks so much for stopping by and listening to one of my talks. Again, this talk was based on my book, Drink to Your Health, Medicinal Teas, Juices, and Milks from Around the World. You can always pick up a copy on Amazon if you want. I do have another YouTube channel on Vedic Astrology, or the Astrology of Ancient India, called Light Vedic Astrology. And I have an online art gallery gift shop. The photographs in this talk are my own. So I have a online gallery of photographies, something you're into. So I hope you found this talk helpful, useful, and interesting to you, as you work to increase your health and wellness and vitality in your own life. All right, so until the next one, take care.